Good evening. My name is Juan Agustin Marquez, and I'm going to talk to you about the intersection between education and entertainment. I went to film school with the idea that I was going to do superhero movies. I wanted to do the Spider-Man movie. I love Batman. I love Superman. But the studios went ahead and did those movies without me. So how do you make a movie about superheroes without a script, without a budget, without actors, without money, without a studio backing you? You make a documentary. Now, I still had Spider-Man in my heart. You know, Spider-Man is who I love. That's my superhero. And Spider-Man's creed is, with great power comes great responsibility. So with this in mind and this idea in my heart, I took it to documentaries. Great power meaning the power of massive communication. And for me, the responsibility comes in the responsibility of being accurate with that information. So each superhero has a city they have to save. Batman has Gotham, Superman has Metropolis, Spider-Man has New York. Puerto Rico, I'm from Puerto Rico, needs a lot of saving. So that's why I wanted to do films that highlight heroes in Puerto Rico. Now, a lot has been said about the intersection between education and entertainment. This is probably one of the most famous quotes about it. If you wanted to tell people the truth, make them laugh. Otherwise, they will kill you. That's Oscar Wilde. And I find that a bit dramatic and overkill. I would like to bring it down a notch and suggest that if you're going to tell people the truth, make it entertaining, and otherwise, they won't listen to you. So with this idea of entertainment and education, we wanted to tackle, the first problem I wanted to tackle in my society was animal abandonment. Now, there's a huge problem of overpopulation of dogs in the streets of Puerto Rico. So we decided to make this documentary to address that problem. I'm going to show you a clip from the film, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it.
En Puerto Rico nosotros tenemos un problema de sobrepoblación de animales.
Nos dan la apariencia de un país tercermundista, ¿verdad?
Pero yo decía, pero ¿cómo va a ser posible si Puerto Rico es una parte de los Estados Unidos?
Abandonan aquí perros casi todos los días. Yo veo perros nuevos.
25 perros en Tapara y cuidado sin más perros.
Abandonar el animal, que es uno de los problemas más grandes que tenemos aquí en Puerto Rico, es ilegal.
Aparentemente la ley que hay, no respetan.
Los perros salieron de un momento, de repente, y le atacaron a una señora y la jodearon.
Las personas no quieren esterilizar, tampoco quieren adoptar, entonces los animales se siguen reproduciendo.
Si ellos se concentraran más en esterilización.
¿Ves qué son las bolas?
Yo sí creo en la eutanasia.
Yo no comparto la visión de que la eutanasia sea la solución.
Si ella no lo hubiera visto, cuando viniera la basura, recoge en la basura así la mente y lo hubiera triturado.
So there's over 100,000 of dogs in the streets of Puerto Rico. And we shot a lot of footage when we shot this documentary. And the two guiding principles we had going through in the editing process was, is this educational and is this entertaining? If it wasn't, it had to go out. So with that in mind, we edited the film. It's an hour long, and it was in 14 countries, and it was actually very successful, to the point that it actually won an Emmy. The reason I mention this is by making it entertaining, educational, the film wins an Emmy, which in turn acquires a lot of press, which in turn, there's an article written in the Huffington Post which speaks highly about the film, but very bad about the situation in Puerto Rico. And that article reaches the Puerto Rico political sphere and forces the political change we're hoping for. So we made something educational, we made it entertaining, and we pushed it out to the world, and the audience made sure that the political powers that be received the message and pushed for change. And now we have better laws in Puerto Rico thanks to the seed we planted with the documentary. So with this idea in mind of education and entertainment, if we were able to do that with dogs in Puerto Rico, what if we could tackle Puerto Rico's biggest problem, which is colonialism? And that's what brings us to our next documentary, The Last Colony. So I'm going to show you a clip about the film. I'm going to talk a bit more about it.
Puerto Rico is not even in the biggest list of priorities to the US. And for Puerto Ricans, we have always been expecting, fantasizing that we will at some point have the interest of Americans.
For the first time in our history, we are going to be telling the United States whether we want to maintain the current status with the United States.
It seems to me that the free association option is not clearly understood in Puerto Rico. I think it requires a second look.
If you make the commitment of being the 51st state, you have to make the commitment of assimilate your culture, your identity, and we don't want that.
I don't want to become something else. I want to remain what I am. I am a Puerto Rican. Commonwealth allows me that.
Do we get to choose our highest sovereign? The answer is no.
Under statehood, we would participate to the same extent as any other state of the Union.
Our men and women in uniform have defended democracy in our nation with valor and courage, oftentimes in greater numbers than most states.
If we ever become a state, as I hope we do, I'll be a Puerto Rican American.
We're not Americans. We will never be Americans. We have a different, a distinct Latin American identity.
¿Cuál es la fiesta nacional más grande en todos los países del mundo, incluyendo Estados Unidos? Su independencia. Su independencia.
What Puerto Ricans want is a true self-determination process, not political games.
So the film takes place during the fourth plebiscite in the island's history. And as you can see, the people of Puerto Rico are extremely divided on this status issue. So we took the film a step further, and we didn't just present the four options Puerto Ricans have, and we didn't just present the plebiscite that we just went through. We also gave the audience the choice to vote for their favorite status option. And as you can see, the people of Puerto Rico are divided, and we made the movie in English for American audiences to engage on this topic. And when people voted, you can see that people are also very divided. So we put the audience in the shoes of Puerto Ricans, and that's how they voted. And none of these alternatives have a clear majority, which reflects the same situation we have in Puerto Rico. So the people in Puerto Rico don't have a consensus, and the audience, after watching the film, also don't have a consensus. But at least when they come home after watching the film, they're not talking about the film, they talk about the choice they made for the people of Puerto Rico. And I find that to be entertaining, and I find that to be engaging. And hopefully that's going to bring about some change. I'm very proud to say that we presented the film this summer in the Congress of the United States. 4 congressmen hosted the event. And I think they learned a lot about Puerto Rico's status. So educate people, entertain them, and hopefully they're going to create the social change you're looking for. I would like to close with this thought from Gandhi. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. I would like to add, make documentaries to amplify that change. Thank you very much.